I was infatuated with Lu Ruyan for 5 long years. Over that time, I confessed my feelings to her 13 times, and all 13 times I was rejected. Everything only truly ended when she decided to go abroad for a study program, and the person she chose to accompany her was her childhood friend, Yi Dengcheng. Only then did I genuinely let go. I still clearly remember that moment at the airport, standing there watching Lu Ruyan hug her best friend before turning to me and saying with a light smile, "You two are actually quite suited for each other." She said this while gesturing toward Kula, her other close friend. When Lu Ruyan returned home, she angrily sought me out, demanding an explanation for a contact saved in my phone under the name wife. I simply smiled, calmly replying, "Didn't you yourself once say that Kula and I were well suited? It seems your judgment of people is spot on." It was the 5th year since I first met Lu Ruyan, and she was preparing to leave the country. But I only learned about it through our mutual friends. "No way," they exclaimed. "You two are so close, how could she not tell you?" Everyone was surprised. Someone added, "Even I only met Ruyan once and I know about it, so how can you not?" Another person tried to rationalize, "Chi Bodai, maybe she couldn't bear to leave you?" But no one believed me when I said I genuinely didn't know. Everyone was convinced that she and I were just pretending to avoid suspicion. But I understood clearly that Lu Ruyan was deliberately trying to avoid me. I couldn't grasp the reason. If my persistence bothered her, why did she always reply to my messages? My heart felt heavy, a bitter sting as if soaked in vinegar. Before I knew it, I was standing beneath her apartment, silently staring at the closed door. All the excitement and anticipation had vanished. As I turned to leave, a familiar voice rang out behind me. "Chi Bodai, why are you here again?" I turned back. The door was open, and Lu Ruyan was leaning casually against the frame, her eyes half indifferent, half mocking. I looked at her, my heart filled with hurt and confusion. "You're going abroad? Why didn't you tell me?" I asked. Ruyan let out a light laugh, as if she found the question utterly ridiculous. "Chi Bodai, what right do you have to ask me that?" I froze. She was right. I was just a friend. What right did I have to question her? After a moment, I managed to speak. "I just wanted to know." Ruyan smiled faintly, her deep eyes seeming to see right through me. "Now you know, don't you, Chi Bodai? I know you well. Even if I didn't say anything, you would have found out on your own." In that moment, I felt completely exposed in front of her. Ruyan's scrutinizing gaze made me feel utterly ashamed. All those times I had convinced myself that she needed my attention now seemed small and meaningless. I quietly replied, "I understand. It won't happen again." Perhaps that answer surprised her slightly. Ruyan straightened up, silently looking at me for a moment before saying, "I leave next Monday." I calmly responded, "Yeah, all right." She tilted her head slightly and asked, "Don't you have anything you want to say to me?" I could only offer a bitter smile. What else is there to say? I've said everything before, but you always pretended not to understand. Now I truly have nothing left to add. "No. I wish you a safe journey," I said, then turned and walked away, feeling an unprecedented sense of finality in my heart. The day Lu Ruyan left for the airport, I hesitated for a long time until my friends dragged me along. Standing in the crowd, I saw her searching for something, with Yi Dengcheng, her childhood friend, standing beside her. In our circle of friends, everyone thought they were a perfect couple, even though they had never officially been together. As for me, once my feelings for Lu Ruyan became too obvious, I could only stand by and watch silently. The relationship between Lu Ruyan and me had become too apparent for anyone to pretend not to notice. Gradually, people started shipping us, but Ruyan never clearly stated her position. Now that she was about to leave, I felt as if the story between us, whatever it was, had reached its conclusion. When I approached the group of friends, Ruyan's eyes met mine. The corner of her mouth curved into a faint, teasing smile. "I told you, he would come," she announced to everyone around her. I paused, confused, looking at the assembled people, completely missing her real intention. Yi Dengcheng immediately threw an arm over Ruyan's shoulder, giving me a sarcastic smile. "You're Chi Bodai, right?" he asked, a playful tone in his voice. I've heard about you. Ruyan said you're always hovering around her, making it impossible for her to escape. You're really persistent. The entire group of friends burst into laughter, echoing his words. Exactly, one person chimed in. Lu Ruyan never even acted interested, yet he still persistently follows her. That's true, another followed up. Usually, it's easy for men to pursue women, but here it's like there's a whole mountain blocking the two of them. Another female friend joked, Hey, Ruyan, don't make him wait too long, or he might forget you by the time you get back. I glanced at Lu Ruyan, my eyes cold, unsure what to expect from her, but she just smiled confidently and said, No, I told you. Even if I didn't tell him, Chi Bodai would still show up here. She stepped closer, looking directly into my eyes. Isn't that right, Chi Bodai? I took 2 steps back, keeping my distance, and calmly replied. Not anymore. The atmosphere seemed to freeze. Lu Ruyan stopped short. This was the first time I hadn't played along with her, especially in front of others. Immediately, a few friends tried to smooth things over. Come on, Ruyan, he's a guy, don't tease him too much, one person said. Chi Bodai is slow to anger but sensitive, another interjected. Don't let this little thing ruin your mood. You might not see each other for a while. Another person advised me, keep your spirits up. You'll see each other again soon. The atmosphere slowly calmed down, but Yi Dengqing deliberately stirred things up again. He stepped forward, slapped me hard on the shoulder, feigning the closeness of long-lost brothers, and said, Come on, Chi Bodai, Ruyan was just kidding. Why are you so tense? Didn't you know? If you hadn't shown up today, we would have lost 1,000 in a bet. Don't tell me you're mad. Guys should be a little more relaxed. It's all just fun. Everyone fell silent. I stood there, looking at Lu Ruyan, quietly taking it all in. She bit her lip and took a step forward, as if to shield Yi Dengqing. We were just joking, you don't need to take it so seriously, she said. Yi Dengqing is straightforward, he doesn't overthink things like you. Don't take it personally. Yi Dengqing raised his hands in a gesture of surprise. Did I say something wrong? My bad, Chi Bodai. That's just how I am, I didn't mean anything by it. I clenched my jaw, afraid that if I opened my mouth, my voice would tremble. This wasn't the first time I hated myself for my silence during crucial moments like this. Why could I never keep my composure when I needed it most? We exchanged a few more words until it was almost time for Lu Ruyan and Yi Dengqing to enter the security check area. Unexpectedly, she walked toward me. In truth, I had sensed her gaze flicking over me the whole time. But I didn't want to believe that the person who had just used me as a subject of a bet would suddenly care about me. Lu Ruyan stopped beside me, her voice soft but distant. Chi Bodai, I hope that when I return, you will have found someone you can truly rely on. She lightly placed a hand on the shoulder of the girl standing next to me, Gala, then glanced at her, offering a faint smile. You two are actually quite suited for each other. I found it utterly ridiculous. You don't need to worry about my affairs, I replied, my voice cold, my eyes devoid of any lingering emotion. Lu Ruyan looked straight into my eyes, her voice calm but with a hint of chill. I'm just worried about you. I responded instantly, firm and cold. This time, I don't need it. The answer caused her to pause, her eyes darkening briefly. Then it's best if you never need me again, she said, her voice laced with bitterness. Don't come running to find me when I return. I looked at her and answered seriously, rest assured, everything will be exactly as you wish. It was clear that Lu Ruyan hadn't expected me to be so resolute today. When the speaker announced the boarding time, she pulled her luggage and walked away, still not forgetting to bend down to help Yi Dengqing adjust his leaning suitcase. I smiled faintly, but a sharp, bitter pang shot through my heart. She was so thoughtful, only that thoughtfulness was never directed toward me. We stood outside the security area, waiting for our group of friends to decide how to get back. While I was silently watching them, Yi Dengqing suddenly looked back, his eyes full of challenge, though it was only a fleeting glance, gone like a phantom. He moved closer to Lu Ruyan, leaned in, and whispered something that made her smile slightly. They looked truly perfect together, and that sight weighed heavily on my heart. Just then, Kula, the girl Lu Ruyan had suggested was well suited for me, stepped up, blocking my view. I wasn't particularly close to her, only knew her from a few chance meetings. Let's go home, Kula said, her voice small but determined. I snapped back to reality, realizing I had been lost in thought for too long, unaware that the group had already finished discussing transportation. Oh, right. I nodded. It was strange, just one sentence from Lu Ruyan earlier was enough to make the air between Kula and me awkwardly palpable. On the way back, the three of us rode in Kula's car, dropping off each friend one by one. By the time it was just her and me, the silence in the car was stifling. I sat in the passenger seat, my eyes fixed on the window, not daring to look at her. Perhaps sensing the tension, Kula turned on some soft music, its melancholic melody permeating the space. "Where is your place?" she suddenly asked. I paused, reacting slowly. "They said your place is in this direction, but they weren't specific." "Should I take you all the way there?" she added, her voice a little hesitant. I pondered for a moment, then replied, "No need. There's a bar up ahead. You can drop me off there." My mind was a mess, feeling utterly drained of energy. I had already texted my best friend, Lin Bin, to meet me at the bar for a few drinks. As soon as I sat down, Lin Bin frowned. "Don't go drowning yourself in liquor. Those movies you watch are all lies, getting drunk won't solve anything." I picked up my glass and took a small, quick gulp, my voice hoarse as I replied, "Am I not allowed to drink without a reason?" Lin Bin gave a wry smile, took off his jacket, draped it over the chair, and sat down next to me, accepting his fate for the night. "Your problem isn't the drinking, it's what's making you want to drink." "Fine, I'll drink with you. Tell me, what's wrong?" After a few drinks, I started venting my frustration. How could she talk about me like that in front of everyone? Was she treating me as a joke all these years? Lin Bin, now a bit tipsy, swayed his wine glass and replied, "I think Lu Ruyan treats you differently than others. She does value you." I slammed my glass onto the table, my voice rising, "Don't talk nonsense. She was just messing around because she knew I liked her." The clink of the glass seemed to sober Lin Bin up a little. He looked at me, his voice low. "Then just stop liking her. There are plenty of other people out there." I nodded vaguely, pretending to agree, but kept drinking. I didn't know how long I had been sitting there or how much I had consumed. Only when my body lost its balance did I fall backward, thankfully caught by someone. In my hazy state, I felt weightless, and a gentle voice whispered in my ear. "Do you really like her that much? You liar, you promised me." A year later, news spread that Lu Ruyan was returning home. The old class chat group, which had been silent for so long, suddenly became lively again. Someone suggested organizing a class reunion, saying it had been a while since everyone had met. Everyone quickly agreed. Since the reunion was also to welcome Lu Ruyan back, everyone decided to hold the party at her house. I was still debating whether or not to go when the screen of the phone in my hand was suddenly turned off by someone else. An arm wrapped around me from behind, and a familiar voice whispered in my ear. "What are you thinking about that has you so focused?" In the dim light of the room, I blinked and replied, "The class reunion. I'm not sure if I should go." Kula's warm breath gently fanned my neck. "Why not go? Or are you still hung up on her?" I froze, pushing her away slightly. "What are you talking about? I wouldn't dare." Suddenly, a brief, sharp sting of pain shot through my shoulder. "What did you do?" I asked. Kula smiled mischievously, lightly kissing the spot she had just nipped. "Naughty boy, you dared to lie. You deserve the punishment." I rolled my eyes, trying to suppress a laugh. "Are you a puppy?" Kula giggled and replied, "Woof." I couldn't hold back anymore. I burst out laughing, then suddenly lunged forward and gently bit her neck in retaliation. "Are you a puppy too?" Kula raised an eyebrow, one hand on my head, the other hugging my waist. I looked up, giving her a sly grin. "You taught me. Now I know how to fight back." The day Lu Ruyan returned, quite a few old classmates gathered to welcome her, but I, as promised, did not attend. However, it seemed my absence displeased her. According to what friends told me, Ruyan was moody all evening, easily losing her temper over small things. When someone asked the reason, she just remained silent, causing everyone to start discussing Yi Dengcheng instead of her. You haven't changed at all. You're always so tactless, never knowing how to consider other people's feelings or choose the right time to say something. The only difference was that this time, the person being criticized was Yi Dengcheng, not me. Since they left, I hadn't heard anything from Lu Ruyan. Oddly enough, though, Yi Dengcheng started texting me quite regularly. For the first Lunar New Year they spent abroad, Yi Dengcheng sent me a photo of Lu Ruyan cooking in the kitchen. The accompanying message read, "Chi Bodai, Lu Ruyan is cooking for me right now. You still haven't had a chance to eat her food, have you?" Then he added, "Oh, right, you used to bring her lunch boxes when you were pursuing her, remember?" But it seems she never even glanced at them. I didn't bother replying, I just muted the conversation and let his message sit there. Occasionally, during meals, I would briefly glance at it. It was strange, Yi Dengcheng was indeed quite an interesting guy. Even though I never responded, he continued to text me every month, as if I were a mandatory check-in on his calendar. Chi Bodai, Lu Ruyan stayed up all night preparing a birthday gift for me. She's sound asleep now. Chi Bodai, you treated Lu Ruyan so well, why didn't she ever like you? Chi Bodai, I just said I was bored, and she dropped everything to go shopping with me. I'm so lucky. Sometimes, I opened them only to let out a quiet, internal laugh, a little bitter, a little ironic, but then Kula caught me one time. That evening after dinner, I was lying with my head resting on her arm, while she was holding my phone. Kula frowned, "Why does he text you constantly, and you never reply?" I tried to evade the topic. I tried to act calm, but she pressed on. "But you still read them, and they're all about her." I sighed, knowing exactly where this was going. I handed her the phone, stating clearly, "Handle it however you want." She replied coldly, "Delete everything." I complied. But Kula didn't seem satisfied yet. Before deleting them, she sent a brief message to Yi Dengcheng. "Yi Dengcheng, stop bothering Chi Bodai." I'm a rather organized person, so after deleting everything, I felt a slight sense of relief. 2 weeks later, it was the day of the class reunion. I showed up as planned, though this time Kula couldn't join me due to work commitments. As soon as I stepped into Lu Ruyan's house, I saw her among the crowd. I didn't greet her, I quietly took a different path, striking up a conversation with a few old friends. "My gosh, Chi Bodai, you look great. There's no sign of work stress at all." "Long time no see, you haven't changed a bit," one friend exclaimed. "Wait, is that an engagement ring? Do you have a girlfriend?" Another sharp-eyed girl noticed the ring on my finger, crying out with curiosity. I felt a little awkward, gently stroking the ring on my ring finger, and smiled, replying, "Yes, it's been almost a year now." Indeed, it had been exactly 1 year since that night I got blackout drunk at the bar. That evening, after I drank myself into incoherence, Kula took me back to her place, while arranging for my friends to stay at a nearby hotel. When we arrived, the alcohol truly took hold. I became ridiculous, demanding water, then demanding cake. Somehow, Kula patiently managed to soothe me. Finally, I stood precariously on the sofa, clutching her face, weeping and saying in my drunken stupor, "I will never like her again." Kula nearly lost her patience, gritting her teeth as she asked, "Who is her?" "Lu Ruyan." Her arm tightened around my waist, making me wince in pain. When I looked up, Kula had closed her eyes, looking at me with a plea in her gaze. "Why don't you try liking me instead?" My head was hazy and ringing as if covered in a fog. "Who are you?" I mumbled. Kula suddenly became serious, using her hand to lift my chin, her eyes resolute. "Look at me, Chi Bodai. I am Kula." I softly repeated her name, my voice thick. "Kula." Then, for some reason, I laughed like an idiot. They said we're very well suited. Kula sighed in resignation. "All right, let's go to sleep." But just as she lay me down on the bed, a sudden boldness surged within me. I wrapped my arms around her neck and softly called, "Kula." She replied, "I'm here." I traced the contours of her face with my hand, then abruptly pulled her toward me and kissed her on the lips. Kula gently squeezed the back of my neck, passionately returning the kiss. Everything happened with an absurd naturalness. It was a chaotic night, and by the next morning, I couldn't remember much, only that in a climactic moment, she had spoken very clearly. "Chi Bodai, look at me. Who is this?" In my confusion, I opened my eyes and saw Kuele's blurry face. I smiled as the memory flashed back in my mind, not noticing that I was unconsciously looking down at the ring on my hand. "Chi Bodai, why are you smiling to yourself? Introduce your girlfriend," someone teased. I blushed slightly and was about to speak when a familiar voice suddenly cut in. "Chi Bodai." I turned my head. It was Lu Ruyan. The whole room immediately fell silent, all eyes fixed on her. She paused briefly, as if she hadn't intended to call my name out that loudly. After a second of hesitation, she regained her composure, speaking with an awkward naturalness. "Could you help me with something?" I followed her into the kitchen, but there was nothing that needed my help. "What do you need?" I asked. Ruyan stepped closer, her voice lowered. "Why didn't you come to the airport that day?" I took a small step back. "Didn't you yourself say you didn't want me to come? Isn't this what you wanted? Why are you asking me now?" Ruyan leaned against the kitchen counter, her eyes sharp and cold. "Then why did you come here today?" "This party is for me, you don't need to be present," I replied, trying to maintain my composure. "Today isn't just a welcome party for you, it's a class reunion as well." She frowned, her voice sharp. "Chi Bodai, stop testing my patience. Why do you always have to be like this?" Just then, her gaze landed on my hand. She grabbed my wrist tightly, her voice low and strained. "What is this? A new trick? Are you trying to provoke me?" I pulled my hand out of her grasp, my voice stern. "Lu Ruyan, I have a girlfriend." But she only offered a faint smile, her gaze full of challenge. "I'm back now. Are you trying to argue with me?" "It's too late for that." In that moment, I realized that no matter what I said, Lu Ruyan would always find a way to twist the story to her liking. Just then, the phone in my pocket vibrated. She stood still without saying anything further. I took out my phone, the screen lit up, clearly displaying the text, "Wife calling." Lu Ruyan's face visibly stiffened, her eyes flashing with anger for a fleeting moment, while I simply remained silent. That name, wife, was typed in by Kula herself the day she saved my number in my phone. We weren't even married yet, but I still answered the call. I spoke before Kula could open her mouth. "Wife?" Her voice came through the phone, half teasing, half tender. "It's rare for you to initiate a call like this." "I'm so happy to hear it." I ignored the teasing tone and asked directly, "When are you getting here? Did you miss me yet?" Even just through the phone, I could imagine her mischievous smile. This puppy has some nerve. But fine, I'll let it go this time. "Yeah, I miss you," I replied softly. Kula seemed to sense something in my voice. "Are you with someone?" I answered honestly. "Yes, I am." "Hurry up and get here." Alright, the call ended. On the other side, Lu Ruyan was almost grinding her teeth, trying to suppress her anger. "Who is that person?" she asked. Her voice trembled from the effort of restraint. I held up my phone, the screen clearly displayed a photo of Kula and me together as the background. "Thank you. You were the one who suggested Kula and me. You were absolutely right, we are well suited." Lu Ruyan was flustered, even as people returned to the living room, she remained isolated, clearly upset. I had never seen her lose control like that. We all sat down in a circle. Kula arrived and immediately sat down next to me. I leaned slightly, resting my head on her shoulder. Everyone noticed the intimacy between us. "So it's Kula. I never would have guessed. You two kept it secret. You didn't even drop us a hint. Penalty time, 3 shots. You two look great together. Why haven't you posted any pictures online?" The well wishes and teasing came one after another, leaving Kula and me with only awkward smiles. Before anyone could react, someone suddenly exclaimed, "Wait a minute, is that a bite mark on Kuele's neck?" All eyes immediately focused on Kula. "Oh my god, Chi Bodai, you're quite the beast," a chorus of teasing laughter echoed through the room. I could only bury my face in Kula's shoulder, secretly thinking I shouldn't have bitten her so hard last time. The mark was already nearly faded, yet today it stood out strangely. Kula didn't bother to hide it, she just smiled, hugged me tighter, and said, "That's enough, stop teasing. He's getting embarrassed." The room was filled with cheer, except for one person. Lu Ruyan sat in the corner, silent, her face clouded over. After the reunion, I had drunk quite a bit, so much so that without Kula's support, I probably couldn't have stood steady. Though I wasn't completely unconscious, I was certainly dizzy. As everyone left one by one, Kula and I were about to go when Lu Ruyan suddenly spoke. Now, there were only 4 people left in the room: Lu Ruyan, Yi Dengcheng, Kula, and me. "Stay." Kula held me, standing in front, her voice calm but firm, "No need, we're fine to leave." Lu Ruyan narrowed her eyes, not backing down. "He's drunk, it would be better for him to stay and rest. I'm just worried about him." "Or are you afraid you can't win against me?" Kula smiled faintly, replying softly. "Chi Bodai became who he is before he became my husband. He's not something you can just decide to take." Lu Ruyan clenched her fists, her voice chilling. "What I want, I always get." "No more talking," Kula bent down and lifted me up. "Before you speak, take a look at yourself. Do you really think you still have a chance?" I heard Lu Ruyan clench her fists behind us, but she didn't reply. Not long after, she found another way. One day after work, I saw her waiting next to my car, holding a bouquet of flowers. I glanced at her, then immediately turned away, not stopping. "Chi Bodai, give me a chance." Her voice rang out behind me. I laughed, not exactly in mockery, but finding the situation absurd. "Are you kidding me? It's not funny at all." Undeterred, she stepped closer, holding the bouquet out in front of me. I stepped back, and the bright red roses fell to the ground. I said coldly, "Lu Ruyan, I don't like roses. They're too showy." She was silent for a few seconds, then calmly bent down and picked up each petal. "Then next time I'll bring a different kind. What flowers do you like?" I laughed, a bitter smile. "It's not about what you bring, Lu Ruyan. It's about the fact that you are no longer the person I want to receive anything from." I looked directly into Lu Ruyan's eyes, speaking slowly, word by word. "I don't like you, so whatever you bring means nothing." I held up my hand, revealing the ring on my ring finger. "I already have someone by my side. Don't you understand?" Lu Ruyan smiled faintly, her voice tart. "You're not married yet. What's wrong with me wanting to compete a little?" I retorted, my voice flat but sharp. "Compete? You don't stand a chance. Do you get it now?" She threw the bouquet onto the ground, her face instantly returning to its inherent arrogance. "Chi Bodai, I've been patient enough, but my tolerance has limits. This is your last chance, leave Kula and be with me." I burst out laughing. It was the most genuine laugh, mixed with a little bitterness, and also the most sarcastic laugh in my life. "Lu Ruyan, you're truly confident. You think I would choose you over Kula?" I exhaled, looking straight into her eyes. Perhaps it was because I had given too much back then that my feelings became cheap. I had wasted 5 years on someone who never reciprocated. That was enough. I continued, my voice soft but firm. "For 5 years, I tried to express my heart, but did you ever give me a clear answer? That kind of vague, non-committal affection is not what I want, and you are not the person I need. Don't think everyone can replace anyone else. Everyone is an individual. If someone truly loves someone, they won't rely on others to fill the void." I took a deep breath, feeling a wave of relief spread through my chest. "Now do you understand? Lu Ruyan, you're not stupid. If you don't like someone, no amount of forced effort will bring happiness. If the forbidden fruit is already rotten, forcing it will only result in bitterness." She remained silent, the rose petals falling out of the wrapping paper, scattered on the pavement. I looked at the scene, quietly saying, "Emotions that have expired cannot be forced to bloom. Just then, a car horn sounded behind me. I turned around and met Kuele's eyes looking at me from inside the car. Under the sunlight, just one look was enough. Kula didn't have to do anything, just by standing there, she had won. I'm just an ordinary person, working an office job, clocking out on time on weekends. Kula is different, she's a CEO, so busy that she almost never has a day off. On weekends when she couldn't come home, I was usually too lazy to cook, so I would just order takeout. That day when the doorbell rang, I thought the food had arrived. But when I opened the door, the person standing outside was the one I absolutely did not want to see. Yi Dengcheng took off his sunglasses, his eyes bloodshot with rage. Chi Bodai, what did you do to Lu Ruyan? Since meeting you, she hasn't spoken a single word to me. What did you say to her, you bastard? Before I could react, his fist slammed straight into my face. My lips split, and the coppery taste of blood flooded the corner of my mouth. You bastard, die! He screamed, lunging to throw a second punch. I dodged it, grabbed his wrist, and said in a low voice, you think I'm too gentle? You think I don't have limits? Am I your father that I have to constantly coddle you? He froze, and I continued, my voice cold as steel, you think I'm some kind of witch who can change a princess with just a few words. Before you blame others, look at yourself. If you don't put in the effort, don't complain that life is unfair. You and she are truly a perfect match. You both love to cause trouble, always making others miserable. Frankly, if you two would just stay home, the world would probably be more peaceful. I never thought I could be this forceful. Even as my head was spinning, I suddenly remembered Kuele's words, fight back. When I first met her, I was terrible at arguing with anyone. Even during a debate, the moment I opened my mouth, I would lose because I was angry and flustered, and couldn't articulate my thoughts coherently. That feeling truly made me look pathetically weak. Perhaps being bullied by Kula so much had made me more resilient. She had noticed that weakness and deliberately never argued back, forcing me to learn how to endure and bottle up my anger without breaking. I could tolerate more than anyone, but Kula didn't want to see me constantly hurt like that. She always told me I had to learn to stand up for myself. She said, sometimes fighting back isn't the best way, but at least it lets others know you won't be easily pushed around. In the early days, Kula didn't mind letting me vent my anger on her, even treating it as normal. She smiled, half joking, half serious. My love, fighting back is right. Never let anyone deceive you. My affection for Kula wasn't something that flared up overnight. I couldn't possibly fall in love with someone just because of one crazy night, that would be insane. I couldn't even clearly recall the exact feeling of when I first started liking Lu Ruyan. The decision to like her had been a long process for me. And who would have thought that the person I once saw as an angel would turn into a source of trouble later on? Back then, Lu Ruyan was kind to me, a shy, insecure person. Maybe she didn't mean to be, but her warmth made me misunderstand. She was the first person to openly stand up for me, but that was completely different from Kula. Kula didn't shelter me, she wanted me to learn to be strong, steady enough not to need anyone's protection. Kula once said, I can't be by your side forever. You have to learn to protect yourself. Just like now, as I faced Yi Dengcheng alone, my words didn't seem to register with him at all, on the contrary, they only made him angrier. Spare me, we're both men. You think I don't know what you're thinking? Yi Dengcheng snarled, his eyes full of resentment. After all these years of having feelings for Lu Ruyan with no result, I don't believe you gave up just because she went away for a year. Don't pretend to be noble. I simply replied calmly. Whether you believe it or not is your business. Don't bother me anymore and don't turn this into some masculinity contest. No one is competing with you, it's just your own imagination making you think everyone wants Lu Ruyan. Chi Bodai. Yi Dengcheng yelled, lunging straight at me. We wrestled with each other, punching and grappling as if there were no tomorrow. When the delivery person showed up, both our faces were bruised and swollen. At the police station, Kula arrived with a cold expression. I hadn't even finished wiping the blood from the corner of my mouth, my hair was messy, and my clothes were disheveled. Compared to me, Yi Dengcheng looked even worse, his face swollen, one eye almost completely shut. Kula sat down next to me, quickly exchanging information with the police to handle the situation. "We will not settle this privately," she stated resolutely. "If it goes to court, I don't mind spending the extra time and effort." Yi Dengcheng started to flare up. "Look at me. My face is like this and you still want to sue? I haven't even asked for compensation. Why go to court?" Koele's voice remained calm but icy. "Yi Dengcheng, weren't you the one who came here to cause trouble first? And weren't you the one who threw the first punch?" Her words choked him up, leaving him speechless. Not long after, Lu Rian arrived. When she saw me, she paused briefly, her face changing color. "Lu Rian, look, Chi Bodai beat me up to this extent." Yi Dengcheng tugged at her sleeve, almost in tears. But instead of defending him, she glared at him. "What were you thinking? Bringing things to this point? Aren't you ashamed? If you're not embarrassed, I'm embarrassed for you." Yi Dengcheng didn't expect Lu Rian to turn on him like this, his voice choked. "Lu Rian, you've never treated me like this. You said you liked me, so why aren't you standing by me now?" Lu Rian looked at him with contempt. "Stop it. If you want to put on a show, act it out yourself, don't drag me into it." She walked toward Kula and me, her voice softening but still maintaining a forced composure. "How much money?" "I'll pay it. Let's settle this privately." Kula helped me stand up and immediately replied, "We've already informed the police. No private settlement. We'll meet in court." Lu Rian frowned, still insistent. "Come on, this is no big deal." Kula immediately countered, her voice full of sarcasm. "Maybe not to you, since you weren't the one who got hit." That statement froze the atmosphere. I clearly saw the fire of anger in Kuele's eyes. She continued, her voice sharp. "Is that what you call love? Anyone can say the words, but if you can't protect the person you love, that love means nothing." Lu Rian flipped her hair, her counterargument weak. "True love shouldn't blow things up like this, humiliating someone." Kula curled her lip. "No, you're wrong. You're just scared, scared of losing face, scared of being judged by others. But true pain, you don't understand it. Because for you, appearance is always more important than human emotions." The anger in Kuele's eyes intensified. I quickly pulled her back. "Kula, my head hurts. Let's just drop it." Without hesitation, she grabbed my hand and led me out of there. In the car, her voice softened, almost a whisper. "Chi Bodai, did you go soft on her just now?" Seeing the caution in her eyes, my heart twinged. I shook my head. "No. I just thought, since the law is already handling this, arguing further is pointless." I spoke, my voice weary, it would just make the parking lot louder. After parking the car, Kula was silent for a long moment, then she spoke softly, so quietly I almost didn't hear her. "Chi Bodai, you're all I have left. Don't leave me." I was stunned by the change in her voice, the way she sounded fragile and trembling, making my heart clench. I suddenly realized how much Kula feared losing me, willing to voice that insecurity over and over again. Every time we were intimate, she would hug me tightly, as if the moment I left, she would simply vanish. I had reassured her countless times, but none of it seemed to truly put her mind at ease. It was only after being with Kula that I learned university wasn't the first time we had met. Kula was born into a chaotic family. Her parents fought constantly, and once, during a heated argument, they accidentally locked her out of the house. She was 9 years old then, a child who didn't even know how to take care of herself, and all she could do was sit by the roadside, scared and crying. As for me, I was 2 years younger than her, living in a nearly perfect, completely happy family. By chance, I walked past that street and saw the small, huddled girl, her face drenched in tears. The sight tore at my heart. Without saying a word, I secretly slipped all the spare change I had into the little girl's hand. It was only much later that I realized the student ID card I had lost that day was among that money. It turned out that the seemingly accidental encounter that year was not random at all. It was all thanks to Kuele's years of silent effort. Life isn't a romantic movie, there aren't many coincidental destinies like people tell. Often, it is one person's patience and effort that brings two strangers into each other's lives. I was completely unaware that while I was engrossed in my unrequited love for Lu Ruyan, Kula had been quietly loving me for a long time. I took her hand, placed it on my cheek, and said softly, "Kula, you can confirm this with me as many times as you like. I love you." The doctor came in for a quick check of the injury and then left. Now, only the two of us remained in the hospital room. Seeing Kula looking lost, unsure of what to do, I teased her softly. Kula immediately sat down by the bed, asking worriedly, "Are you not feeling well?" I shook my head. "No, I just wanted to say your name." She sighed in relief, then leaned down to help me get more comfortable, gently embracing me. "Kula, Kula," I repeated, half joking, half serious. She patiently responded every time, with a surprising tenderness. Then I blurted out 3 words that even I didn't expect to utter at that moment. "I love you." Kula froze, her eyes blinking softly, then she seemed to make a serious decision. She placed her hand on my cheek, leaned down, and kissed me gently but intensely. In that moment, I suddenly realized someone was lurking outside the door, watching with a look of confusion. But I chose to ignore it. When Kula pulled away, we were both breathless. I spoke softly, my breathing still uneven. "Lu Ruyan was just here, you know," she replied, pointing to the mirror on the wall. It wasn't hard to understand why Kula had suddenly become so possessive. She gently stroked my cheek, her voice turning cold. "She doesn't deserve to like you." I recalled Lu Ruyan's expression just now, smiling faintly. She probably understands that herself. At the courthouse, Lu Ruyan unexpectedly withdrew from her position as Yi Dongcheng's defense lawyer. He had to fend for himself and was ultimately convicted and given a criminal record. That evening, the victory belonged to us. As soon as we got home, before I could even take off my shoes, Kula pulled me close to the table, our foreheads touching. The atmosphere between us felt electrified. Her gaze was both intense and possessive, almost like a wild animal protecting its territory. "I won't let anyone hurt you again," she said hoarsely. I started to say something, but my words were swallowed by the burning kiss she placed on my lips. Finally, Kula gently hugged me, her hands soft but slightly trembling. She leaned down, and I felt a small, cold object touch the ring finger of my left hand. "A ring," her voice whispered in my ear like a vow. "From now on, I will be responsible for you, forever." After all the turmoil, I realized that love is not something to prove but something to understand. Lu Ruyan was once the light I blindly chased, dazzling, alluring, but one that left you burned when touched. As for Kula, she wasn't conspicuous because she sparkled, but because she was always there, gentle yet steadfast, like a small light that never goes out. The moment the court session ended, as I walked out of the courtroom, the early winter sun shone on the cold floor tiles. I looked up and saw Kula waiting at the door, wearing a beige sweater, her eyes soft but firm. She didn't say anything, just took my hand. In that moment, I knew I had gone far enough and endured enough pain to finally hold on to this happiness without any more hesitation. For a time, I thought love was about pursuit, about endless persistence. Now I understood that sometimes, love is knowing when to stop, letting go of the person who hurts you, to make room in your heart for the one who truly knows how to keep you. That evening, in our small house, Kula leaned against my shoulder, our hands interwoven as if afraid of being separated. I whispered, "Kula, if there is a next life, I still want to meet you." She smiled, her eyes slightly glistening. "If there is a next life, don't make me look for you for so long." I hugged her tightly, feeling her heartbeat merge with my breath. Outside the window, the city lights came on, and traffic rushed noisily by, but in my heart, there was a rare stillness, the peace of someone who had finally found a place to settle down. Perhaps love doesn't need to be brilliant, it only needs two people, after years of stumbling, to still choose to hold each other's hands. That is enough.